Attention. Motion ready?
Yes.
Behold, behold. Everybody stamp your feet. Everybody niggle your shoulder. Niggle, niggle, niggle. Wow. Hello everyone.
Hello.
My name is Agnes and it's time for Song and Motion time.
Yay.
Okay, today I've prepared for you a new song called Behold, Behold. Can you say it?
Behold, behold.
Okay, we are going to do it with motion. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Motion ready?
Yes.
Behold, behold, I stand at the door and knock, knock, knock. Behold, behold, I stand at the door and knock, knock, knock. If anyone hears my voice, if anyone hears my voice and will open the door, I will come in. Hello everyone. Did you enjoy the song? Do you know why the song is based on the Bible? It is in Revelation chapter 3 verse 20. And children, do you know who is singing this song to you? Jesus. Jesus is asking you to open your heart. If you open your heart, Jesus will enter into your hearts and work for you. Now children, let's learn the song together. Clap, ready? Yes. Behold, behold, I stand at the door and knock, knock, knock. Behold, behold, I stand at the door and knock, knock, knock. If anyone hears my voice, if anyone hears my voice and will open the door, I will come in. Wow, children, the song was wonderful. I hope you enjoyed the song. Now, children, we are going to learn the song step by step. Children, can you repeat after me? Behold, behold. Behold, behold. Behold, behold. I stand at the door and knock, knock, knock. Again, I stand at the door and knock, knock, knock. If anyone hears my voice, again, if anyone hears my voice and will open the door and will open the door and will come in. Again, and will come in. Wow. Children, can we dance together? Yay! Attention. Motion ready?
Yes.
Stories, let us welcome our teacher for the word of wisdom.
Hello children, how are you? I hope you are all doing well. Welcome once more again to Favorite Bible Stories. Children, I believe you all like Bible stories. Is it true? You know, in the Bible, God gave us all these stories for us to learn His heart. Do you really want to learn the heart of God? Yes, I wish all of us we may learn the heart of God. So today we are going to learn about the story of Joseph. Children, do you know Joseph in the Bible? Yes, so we are going to read from the Bible in the book of Genesis chapter 50 and verse 20. Did you open your Bibles? So I read Genesis chapter 50 and verse 20. Let's read together. But as for you, ye thought evil against me, but God meant it unto good, to bring to pass as it is this day, to save much people alive. So children, do you know the life of Joseph? Who was Joseph? Joseph was the son of Jacob. Then do you know what really happened in the life of Joseph? Joseph went through so many difficulties and challenges in life. Do you know them, children? Like one of them, Joseph was sold by his brothers as a slave in Egypt. You know, it was not easy for him. You know, your own brothers selling you as a slave. Children, do you know slaves? Slaves were people who do a lot of heavy work. They are beaten. They don't have time to rest. So he was sold as a slave in the land of Egypt. You know, in the heart of Joseph. Do you know how he felt? I'm sure he was so difficult in his heart. How can my brother separate me from my father who loved me so much, my father who took care of me? Then the brother separated him from his father and sold him into Egypt. Then when Joseph went to Egypt, you know, he went into the house of Potiphar. But children, God was always together with who? With Joseph. Even though he was sold as a slave in the house of Potiphar, God gave him so much grace. He became very prosperous. He became very famous. Why? Because God was together with him. Then when Potiphar saw like this, he made him to be the head of his house. He made him to be like the overseer. You know, even though Joseph was living like this, even though God was together with him, but always he could face so many challenges. Then as he was living in the house of Potiphar, you know what happened? One day, Joseph was blamed because of something he didn't do. Children, have you ever been blamed for something you didn't do? Maybe someone lies, you stole, someone lied, you fought with your friend. How do you feel in your heart? You feel so difficult. Why are they blaming me? Why are they saying something that I didn't do? So like this, it happened to Joseph. As he was working in the house of Potiphar, he was so happy. God was together with him. Then all of a sudden, he was blamed for something he couldn't do. Then when Potiphar heard what Joseph did, he was so angry. Joseph, how can you do like this? Then immediately, Joseph was put into prison. Do you think he was happy? Would you be happy? You are already put in prison because of something you didn't do. You cannot be happy. So when Joseph was put in prison, maybe in his heart he thought, I was sold by my brothers. Now again I'm in prison. Oh, what wrong did I do? Why am I going through all these difficulties? Why am I going through all these sufferings? Maybe in his heart, Joseph was feeling like this. Then while he was in prison, one time they were together with two people, the chief butler and the chief baker. Then these two people, they had a dream. And once they had this dream, they could not understand what was the dream about. Then the chief butler could explain his dream to Joseph. Then Joseph told them, interpretation belongs to God. So in his heart, even in all these kind of difficulties, Joseph believed only in one thing. Joseph believed in who? In God. Then he told them, interpretation belongs to who? Who can interpret our dreams? Who understands our dreams? God can understand our dreams. Then the chief butler could explain his dream to Joseph. Then Joseph could interpret the dream of the chief butler. And also when the chief baker heard how Joseph interpreted the dream of the chief butler, also he explained his dream. Then Joseph could interpret their dreams. Then two of them, the two people, the chief butler and the chief baker, they were released from the prison. Then the chief butler went back to his job. What about the chief baker? He was killed. So children, in his heart, Joseph knew, maybe they will remember me. When they go out there, they will remember me. But they could not remember him. So now still, Joseph is in prison. Then do you know what happened, children? One time, Pharaoh had a dream. The king Pharaoh had a dream. So in his dream, he searched for all his people who could interpret the dream, but no one could be able to interpret his dream. Then in the course of time, you know what? The chief butler remembered who? He remembered Joseph. There was Joseph in prison. While I was in prison, I had a dream and he could interpret my dream. Then Pharaoh said, bring Joseph. Then children, do you know what? Joseph could interpret the dream of Pharaoh. Then from that time, Pharaoh was so happy. Then Joseph would be made the ruler of Egypt. He became the governor. Children, let's think about the life of who? The life of Joseph. You know, he went through all these difficulties. He went through all these problems. But even though he was going through all these problems and difficulties, one thing for sure is that God was always together with who? God was always together with Joseph. God would help Joseph. Then through Joseph, people could live. You know, people would have died because of famine, but when Joseph was able to interpret the dream of Pharaoh, then they were able to preserve a lot of food, many food. Then when famine came, then in Egypt there was a lot of food. You know famine, children, no rain, no food. You know, there's nothing in the farms. So when that time came, because already Joseph saw through the interpretation of the dream, then they were able to prepare themselves. Then when the time of hunger came, they had a lot of food. So many people that time could not die because of hunger. They could come and eat food. Then during this time, the brothers of Joseph also came to buy food in Egypt. You know, at first they couldn't know, this is Joseph. So as they were buying food later, they could realize, Joseph could reveal himself to his brothers. Then at that time, do you know what Joseph told them? As we read today, we read from Genesis chapter 50, verse 20. What did Joseph tell them, children? Can we read again? But as for you, you thought evil against me, but God meant it unto good, to bring to pass as it is this day, to save much people alive. You know, in the hearts of the brothers, they thought, let's just sell him. Let us take him away from our family. Then, you know, even though they meant evil, Joseph is saying, God meant it for good. Children, I want to give you one story. Do you like stories? Yes. One time, there was this king. So this king prepared a pool. Then in that pool, he put so many crocodiles. Do you know crocodiles? Are they friendly? Very dangerous. Is it true, children? So once he made this pool, he put so many crocodiles in that pool. Then he made one announcement. My people, whoever will get into the water, into the pool and swim to the other side of the pool, I will give him $10 million. That's a lot of money, children. Is it true? Yes. If you just swim, just get into the pool, swim and go over to the other side, you'll be given all that amount of money. Children, would you? Would you? The pool is full of crocodiles. Then so many people around that place. They were filled with fear. How can I jump into the water and swim to the other side? Maybe I would have thought, if I just jump, the crocodile will just swallow me and it's over with me. How can I cross over to the other side? But do you know what? One person just entered into the water, swam, and went over. Luckily, I don't know how, luckily he was able to go over to the other side. Then, according to the word of the king, he was given a lot of money. Then if you have a lot of money, children, what do? Maybe you'll buy a car, buy a big house, right? Eat good food. Is it true? By that time, he and his wife, they went out first to celebrate. It was such a joyful moment. They went out to celebrate. Then, as they were talking together, as this man was talking together with his wife, then the wife would ask him, where would you get that courage to get into the water? The water that was full, the pool that was full of crocodiles. Where would you get that courage? Then the man told the wife, you know, I didn't just go into the pool. Someone pushed me. Someone just came behind and pushed me into the pool. Then I found myself into the pool, so I had to struggle for my life. Then I was able to come out of the pool. Then the wife laughed. You know the person who pushed you? I'm the one who pushed you. So who pushed him into the water? The wife. Sindio? Is it true? Then, even though he didn't want to get into the water, even though he didn't want to overcome this challenge of the crocodile, then he was able to go over that difficult and over that challenging. Children, can you challenge a crocodile? Is it easy to challenge a crocodile? So, not by himself, he was pushed. The wife pushed him into the water. Then he was able to overcome that challenge of the crocodiles. Children, you know, this king was so wise. The crocodiles, they were not real crocodiles, just plastic crocodiles, but everybody was so fearful. So it was not so dangerous to be in that water, right? But when everybody saw the situation, the water is full of the crocodiles, could people go into the pool of the water? Nobody could have gone, children. But because this man was pushed into that, to go over and overcome that situation, children, also in the life of Joseph, he didn't like this kind of a life. He didn't like all these difficulties, but God allowed them in his life. Is it true, children? Yes. And after all these difficulties and problems, what happened? Joseph became a governor. Is it true? He became a great person. Is it true? Yes. Then this is our life. Many times we fear difficulties, we fear challenges. No, you know, whenever we face challenges, what do we want? We really want to avoid them. But in the life of Joseph, the more he faced all these kind of difficulties, the more God would help us. So children, God is leading us. God is guiding us. Also, God is working in our lives. Sometimes we cannot see. But was God working in the life of Joseph? Yes. When he was sold by his brothers, was God working for him? He was. When he was in Potiphar's house, was God working for him? Yes, God was working for him. When he was in prison, was God working for him? Yes, God was working for him. But at times we feel, no, God is not working in our lives. But truly, God is working in our lives. Just like he could use Joseph. God used Joseph to save the lives of many people. Is it true? Yes. Through Joseph, even though he went through so many difficulties and challenges, God could work through him. And through him, so many people would be saved. Also children, from the beginning, the will and the plan of God was to save our lives. God didn't want any one of us to go to destruction. God wanted all of us to go back to him. That's why he gave us Jesus Christ. Children, do you know Jesus Christ? Yes, Jesus Christ was born on this earth. Why was he born? He was born to save people from their sin. Then how could Jesus Christ save us from our sin? Did he save us in an easy way? No. He was beaten, right? He was wounded. He was crucified on the cross. He was even so painful. He cried on the cross, my God, why have you forsaken me? You know, even he was praying, God, if it's your will, remove this cup from me. It was so painful. His death, which he was supposed to die on our behalf, do you think it was so nice? It was so easy? It was not easy for him, but he suffered on the cross. He went through pain. He went through difficulties. Why? For us to be saved. Then, children, was it good for Jesus Christ to die on the cross? Some people say, no, why did they crucify Jesus Christ on the cross? Why did they have to beat him like this? But for sure, Jesus Christ had to go through all this suffering. Why? just like Joseph, had to go through all this suffering for many people to be saved. Also, likewise, God gave us his Son, Jesus Christ. He had to suffer for our sake, even had to die for our sake. Then Jesus Christ died on the cross. Because of his wrongdoings? No. Because of our sin. Because of our evil heart. Then Jesus Christ died on the cross. Then he said, it is finished. If you read in John chapter 19, what did he say? It is finished. So what was finished? My sin and your sin were all finished on the cross. So like the brothers of Joseph, and many people could live because of Joseph. Also today, we are able to live, we are able to be free from sin, not because we can do anything by ourselves, but because already Jesus Christ did everything for us. Is it true, children? So today I'm going to read one more verse before I finish. Can we open in the book of Matthew? Matthew chapter 28 and verse 20. Are you there, children? What does the Bible say? Can we read Matthew 28 verse 20? Teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you. And lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. God is giving us this promise. He is together with us, and even unto the end of the world. What does it mean? Always. God is together with us. Children, is God with you always? When you're sick, is God together with you? When you're difficult, is God together with you? When you have lackings, is God together with you? Sometimes you feel, no, this time I feel so sick. This time I feel so difficult. Maybe God is not together with me. But God is giving us this promise. I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. No matter the difficult situation you're going through, no matter the challenges in life, God is saying he's together with you. Why? Was God together with Joseph when the brothers of Joseph were selling him? Yes, God was together with him. God was also together with Joseph in Potiphar's house. God was together with Joseph in prison. So no matter what kind of life we are in, one thing for sure is God is together with us. Always he's together with us because he really loved us. You know, Bible says, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life. So he loved us. Through his love, he gave us who? He gave us Jesus Christ. So through Jesus Christ, he took away all of our sin. All of our sin. That if he took away all of our sin, did he remain some for us? No. Are we supposed to be condemned because of sin? Are we supposed to cry and condemn ourselves, crying, oh God, we are sinners? Then we don't believe in the word of God. We don't believe in what Jesus Christ did. Then once the brothers of Joseph believed in Joseph, they were able to have rest. But before that, they lived in fear. Oh, maybe because of what we did wrong to our brother, if our father dies, maybe our brother will revenge. But could Joseph revenge to them? No. He told them, as for you, you meant evil, but God meant it for good. Is it true, children? Yes. So God really loved us. And God didn't want any one of us to die because of sin. That's why he gave us Jesus Christ. Is it true, children? So because of Jesus Christ, we can be able to inherit the kingdom of heaven. We can be able to enter heaven, not by our effort, not by our diligence, not by our well-doing, but by the works of who? The works of God through Jesus Christ. This is the greatest joy that God gave unto us, children. If we think about this, already God washed our hearts. He washed us from all of our sin. He took away all of our sin. He didn't remain even one. through Jesus Christ. So because of this, we can be able to enjoy forever, eternally together with who? With God. Is it true, children? So if we think about this, what will remain in our hearts? Only joy and happiness. Because of who? The great works of who? The great works of God. So children, thank you so much for listening. So let's think and meditate about the life of Joseph and also the works of Jesus Christ, the works of God in our lives. Then through this, we can be able to have great joy. Thank you so much for listening. See you next time. Bye-bye.
The Lord told Noah there's gonna be a floody, floody. Lord told Noah there's gonna be